6 of Titans has come and gone. It aired earlier Friday. This episode was called Jason Todd, and I have been waiting all day to talk about it, so let's get into this thing. It seems like the strategy with Titans this season is to advance the story in fits and stops. Sometimes you're going to see character building episodes that focus exclusively on the team and their chemistry together. And there's going to be these other episodes, these side story episodes, where the overall narrative of the season isn't compromised, but at the same time they focus on like one or two specific characters and they try to flesh them out more. I can definitely see how some people might be frustrated with that. They might go, oh, come on, I just want to see the team together. I want to see the team doing team shit. But at the same time, most of the time it's handled really well. And again, it does a great job at fleshing the characters out without sacrificing the overarching narrative for the season. In general, I'm okay with it because that's what happens in this episode. This episode is called Jason Todd for a reason because it introduces Jason Todd and it focuses exclusively on Jason Todd and Dick Grayson. The Titans themselves actually aren't really in the episode all that much. They show up at the beginning of the episode. They meet Jason Todd. There's some really good humor with that too. Beast Boy just fanboying out about the shit is really cool, but they're pretty much sidelined for most of the episode. There's some small character progression for Corey though. I mean, she's wearing a different outfit. I mean, that's progress, right? And I guess getting dick from Dick changes a woman. Makes you want to wear new shit. Oh my god, I can already see the complaints now. Oh, her outfit is uglier than before. I hate it still. Not my Starfire. Yeah, okay, people. I get it. Trust me. I get it. But again, Corey really is not in the episode that much. It focuses exclusively on Dick and Jason. We get more background as to how Jason found Dick at the end of the last episode and why he's looking for him in the first place. Apparently, there's a case in Gotham City where there are these people that are showing up dead. They used to belong to the old circus family that Dick was a part of. The Gotham Police Department, because they're useless and they don't know how to handle it, they kick it to Batman. Batman recognizes that Dick Grayson has a personal attachment to the case and he sends Jason Todd off to find him. Now, Dick and Jason have to investigate it, figure out who's wiping out all these circus family members. There is one member still alive, arguably the most important member of the circus to Dick outside of his parents. That was Atlas. They track him down in Milwaukee, but the entire time you're just sitting here and you're like, oh my god, I want this banter and this dialogue and this back and forth between Jason and Dick to go on for the entire episode. Seriously, I could watch like an entire episode of this. I could watch multiple episodes of just Jason Todd and Dick Grayson talking to each other. You can tell that right off the bat when Dick Grayson meets him, he's a little bit resentful of the fact that there's already a new Robin with upgraded gear, has the passwords to safe buildings that Bruce doesn't have for him anymore. There's that great moment in the elevator after they kidnap the handler of the nuclear family from the previous episode. They're going in the elevator and then Jason Todd is just so excited to be Robin. It's just like, being Robin is awesome. You get to kick so much ass. You get to work with Batman. You get to drive the Batmobile. Dick just kind of looks at him like, wait, he lets you drive the Batmobile? Son of a bitch. So part of him is probably a little bit resentful at the fact that he's already been replaced like a year after he stopped being Robin. At the same time, he also feels some kind of brotherly connection to him. You can definitely tell throughout the episode he's trying to mentor Jason Todd. But I'll tell you right now, Jason Todd is not the type for the whole mentor thing. I forget the actor who plays Jason Todd in this season or in this episode, but he was everything I thought Jason Todd would be in the show. He is such an arrogant little shit. Such an overconfident anti-hero, and that's how I like my Jason Todd. You can definitely tell there's a lot to like about him. The enthusiasm he has, the skill that he brings to the costume. I mean, all of that can't be just pushed aside. At the same time, you can definitely see where his path would lead him into darkness. The dude is just a tad bit unstable and doesn't exactly have the best role model in his life with Batman. Dick Grayson, of course, knows this and is trying to steer him off of that path. Like, throughout the entire episode, he's just kind of like, no, you don't understand the full picture, dude. Bruce only does shit for Bruce, and he's going to make you his weapon, and it's going to take a toll on you. Trust me, I know this. I know this because I have taken 6-7 episodes telling this to anybody who would listen. More than anything, this episode serves as a chance to, again, get further into Dick Grayson's past. You see he's having a conversation with Atlas, and then you find out that Dick Grayson actually wanted to go live with Atlas, not Bruce Wayne. But Atlas, just like any sensible, sane human being, was just sitting there telling him, like, look, dude, that guy is a billionaire, okay? He's got Ferraris. His Ferraris have Ferraris. Why the hell would you give all that up just to, you know, ride the bus with me? You can either ride the bus or you can ride in the Ferrari. I mean, it's not that complicated. Like Spike Lee said, do the right thing. Not only do we get to see Dick Grayson's past fleshed out with the circus and we get to see the dynamic between him and Jason, but I think we also get a hint into the events that led up to him saying, you know what, I quit, I'm not Robin anymore. Mobster who worked for the Maroney crime family, his name is Tony Zuko. Apparently he was the one involved in Dick's parents' death. And a couple of years ago he was being moved into protective custody. But of course Robin, because he couldn't let the shit go, decided to interrupt the transport and beat the shit out of Zuko. He absolutely could have killed him, but then he decided not to. But then the Maroney crime family, because, you know, snitches get stitches, they decided they wanted to take him out too, and Dick could have saved him, but then he was just kind of like, no, and then he just let the dude die. You know exactly what scene they're trying to recreate here. Come on, don't lie. You know what they're trying to copy off of.
Finally learn to do what is necessary. I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you.
I remember watching that shit in 2005 and I was just like, holy shit, Batman just murdered Ra's al Ghul. I guess we're just not going to talk about that. Granted, by a technicality, he didn't actually kill him, but there's really not that much difference between what Batman did on that train and what Dick Grayson did on this bridge. When we get to the end of the episode and Dick Grayson has to actually confront the villain who is actually doing all of this, it's hammered home in this episode, just like every other episode in this series so far has hammered home, that violence has consequences. This is a very ultra-violent, bloody, gory show, but it's not violence for the sake of violence. It's not violence without a point. This violence can take a toll, and it doesn't just take a toll on the people that we hurt, it can take a toll on us as people. That's what I like about this show. If you're going to go ultra-violent with the shit, use it to send a message. Don't glorify the shit. Having said that, the violent scenes in this show are glorious, so even though they don't glorify it, I feel glorified watching it. You find out that Tony Zuko's son lost everything because of Dick Grayson's decision to, not save his father. He lost his mom, he lost his sister, he lost his fiance. The dude has had it rough. Granted, his face kind of looks like a mix between Mask of the Phantasm and Two-Face. He's a whatever villain. He's a means to an end. He gets dispatched pretty quickly by Dick Grayson. But then we get to the holy shit moment of the episode. Keep in mind, these are cops, okay? Cops respond to a call. They're just doing their jobs. They did not ask to be beaten to holy hell by a 19-year-old vigilante with anger issues. That's exactly what happens. Jason Todd tells Dick Grayson while he's checking on his friend Atlas, he's like, hey, I got this, don't worry about it. And then we see how he got this. He goes to the cops and he beats the ever-living shit out of them in really, really brutal ways. I felt so conflicted watching the scene because it's so well choreographed, it's so brutal and awesome. Part of me was just sitting there like, ooh, yes, woo, all right, that's what I'm talking about. Jason Todd is such a badass. And the other part of me, the sane part of me, is sitting there like, wait, okay, those are just cops. You don't have to, ooh, okay, maybe we, Jason, stop! At the end of it, I felt so uncomfortable yet excited at the same time. The straw that broke the camel's back, no pun intended, was that moment where Jason Todd basically goes, lights out, bitch, and then he leans down and he breaks the cop's back with his knees. I'm like, Jesus. It's at that point that Dick Grayson confronts him and he's just like, dude, okay, you have issues, bro. You have serious issues. This is going to affect you in the long run. Again, I know this. How do I know this? Because I've been telling everybody this for 7 episodes now. Jason Todd actually flips the script on him and he just kind of goes, look, dude, I know who I am. I know what I want to be. I am Robin. I love being Robin. You claim to not want to be Robin, and yet you're still dressed in a Robin outfit beating the shit out of people. You have no idea who you are, dude. You're so conflicted. I am not conflicted. So this whole mentor shit, yeah, it's over with. Jason Todd leaves and Dick Grayson is left there to try to contemplate his future, I guess. But this seems like another stepping stone to getting Dick to try to abandon the whole persona of Robin. He calls Corey at the end of the episode. Corey's like, how many Robins should I be expecting? And Dick Grayson is like, nope, there's no Robins. So I'm taking that to mean that he's putting Robin down and he eventually is going to transition into becoming Nightwing. I hope to God we see more of Jason Todd. He was awesome in this episode. Definitely there are some hints of that Red Hood storyline that we all know and love. But the important thing is that Dick Grayson is back reunited with the Titans. And next week's episode, it looks like they're all going to get tortured by that mysterious organization that the Handler works for. Can't wait to see that. So guys, tell me, what did you think about this episode? What was your highlight of the episode? What did you think about the fact that Dick Grayson had a tracker in his arm this whole time and didn't know about it? Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show. And as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.
I see that look in your